Have you ever prayed and heard nothing back? No sign, no answer, just silence. You asked God for help, for healing, for direction, and instead life got heavier, darker, more confusing, and somewhere deep inside a question began to whisper. God, are you even listening? What if the silence isn't rejection? What if it's protection? What if hidden influences, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, are shaping your thoughts, blocking your peace, and even affecting how you hear God? Today, we're diving into something deeper than motivation, deeper than surface-level faith. We're uncovering the hidden secular traps that quietly reshape your mind and exploring why sometimes it feels like God isn't answering your prayers. And more importantly, what you can do about it when silence feels like abandonment. Let's go back thousands of years to a man named Daniel, a man of discipline, a man of prayer, a man who refused to let culture reshape his identity. Daniel prayed consistently, 3 times a day, but one day something changed. In Daniel 10:12-13, an angel finally appears and says, "Do not be afraid, Daniel. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding, your words were heard, but the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Wait, what? God heard Daniel on day 1, but the answer was delayed 21 days because of a spiritual battle. Pause and feel that. Your prayer might not be ignored, it might be resisted. Now ask yourself, how often do we assume silence means God doesn't care? How often do we quit praying just before breakthrough? You're praying for clarity, but your mind is flooded with social media noise. You're asking for peace, but consuming anxiety-driven content daily. You're seeking God's voice, but constantly plugged into secular influences that reshape your thinking. Could it be that your environment is drowning out your awareness of God's movement? What do you think? Have you ever felt like your prayers were delayed instead of denied? Drop your experience in the comments. God hears immediately, but spiritual, mental, and environmental battles can delay what you perceive. Your job: stay consistent, stay aware. Now let's step into a quieter moment, but one filled with tension. In Luke 10:41-42, Jesus says, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed. Mary has chosen what is better." Martha wasn't doing anything wrong. She was serving, she was active, she was productive, but she was distracted. And here's the danger of secular traps today. They don't always look evil. They look busy: constant notifications, endless scrolling, productivity obsession, comparison culture. All good things twisted into distractions. You pray for connection with God, but your mind can't stay still for even 60 seconds. You open your Bible, but your attention is fractured. Is it possible that God isn't silent, you're just too distracted to hear Him? Be honest, what distracts you the most right now? Social media, stress, work? Type it below. God's voice often comes in stillness, but secular culture trains you to avoid it. Jonah prayed, but something was off. In Jonah 2:1-2 NIV, from inside the belly of a fish, he cries out to God. But why was he there? Because he ran from God's assignment. Sometimes it's not that God isn't answering. It's that we're asking God for help while walking in the opposite direction, praying for peace, but holding on to unforgiveness, praying for purpose, but avoiding responsibility, praying for clarity, but ignoring what God already said. What if the answer you're waiting for is obedience? Has there ever been a time you knew what was right, but avoided it? Share if you're comfortable. Alignment matters. God responds not just to words, but to the direction of your heart. Peter did the impossible. In Matthew 14:29-30, then Peter got down out of the boat and walked on the water, but when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. He walked until he focused on the storm. Rely on yourself. Trust your logic only. You don't need God. But here's the truth. Self-reliance without God leads to sinking. You start with faith, then shift into anxiety, then try to control everything. Sound familiar? What storm are you focusing on more than God right now? Type faith if you want to refocus your mind today. Faith requires focus. What you look at shapes what you experience. Abraham waited and waited and waited. In Genesis 21:2, Sarah became pregnant and bore a son at the very time God had promised. But that promise took years. We live in an instant world. Instant messages, instant results, instant gratification. But God works in timing, not trends. You want answers now, but God is building something deeper: character, faith, endurance. Can you trust God even when there's no timeline? What's something you've been waiting on? Drop it below. Let's encourage each other. Delay is not denial. Sometimes it's divine preparation. So why does it feel like God isn't answering your prayers? Maybe it's not silence, it's spiritual resistance, it's distraction, it's misalignment, it's misplaced focus, or it's divine timing. But here's the hope. God is not ignoring you. He is shaping you, guiding you, protecting you even when you don't see it. What's influencing your mind daily? What voices are louder than God's? What needs to change starting today? If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs clarity. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters. And most importantly, take a moment today to sit in stillness and reconnect with God. Because the greatest battle isn't around you, it's within your mind. And this is just the beginning. Watch the next teaching in this series. It might just change the way you think forever.